Hello, it's Tumiu, and today is going to be a little bit of a weird episode. Lots of it is going to be fast forwarded, and I'm actually going to talk about transforming a stronghold into an actual base. Later in the video, I will be talking about sea turtles and their mechanics for breeding. But next episode is going to be a humongous collaboration with everyone on the server who's willing to go and fight the Ender Dragon. So, one of the first things I would have to say is decide if you really want to transform the stronghold into a base. Some things to look out for is what biome is the stronghold underneath? Is there plenty of trees up above? Or do you have some way to access trees further out? You could always grow some, but that'll take some time to get started. Silverfish. Silverfish will appear everywhere throughout the stronghold. When you break blocks, they just pop out sometimes, and if you don't kill them in one hit, then they'll start spawning other silverfish around. However, if you do choose to make a base in a stronghold, you're really close to the end portal, and once you go to the end, you'll be able to make an Enderman farm, which will give you lots of experience, and it'll be super accessible for you to go to. Another good thing about strongholds is that they already have cleared out tunnels. I would advise making tunnels bigger, changing them up a little bit, but it's a good start. When you're working with these, you want to use all of the blocks that were originally in the stronghold. Those chiseled stone, the mossy variation, and the cracked variation. And if you do, it makes the area look much better than what it would be if you hadn't. Now, the mossy chiseled stone is pretty powerful, and what I mean by that, when you use it, it will draw the eye and kind of act like a focal point, so you don't want to use too much of it, or you'll distract from the normal stronghold feel. Most of your blocks will actually end up being that chiseled variation of the stones. I would also advise making easy to access hallways. This might require some digging out of blocks and spawning of silverfish, but once you get routes that are able to be walked through really easily, you can make the stronghold fairly large and still accessible to reach everything. Alongside of this, you want to become very familiar with the stronghold. You don't want to get lost in there. It really sucks if you do, and creepers will end up killing you if you're not careful. One of the really nice things about the stronghold are the libraries they're located in them. If you find one of these libraries, it's really easy to transform it into an enchanting room for daily use. When doing so, I'm not exactly sure on bookshelf mechanics. I'm not sure if they drop all their books every time, but they're pretty easy to craft if you get those books. If you find any dead ends, I'd advise turning those into farming areas. This will allow for you just to have a bunch of animals in one area or entities of any sort, and it won't take too many blocks to seclude the area for that one particular use. A very important thing throughout all of this is that you want your storage area as centralized as possible. This will help you very much later on. Easy access to this is crucial for when you're running around, grabbing your items, and moving them everywhere. Now, when looking around, you might find ravine-like areas. These will disrupt the floor quite a bit and can change some things when you're planning out your area. I chose to turn mine into my main area where I would have everything. Later on, I'm going to venture out into other areas and add stuff to them, but I thought this was a great area to transform into a usable one because of how much space was already open. Okay, now. Oh! Well, that was dumb. Why did it fell into lava? What? Why? Did you see how fast he moved? Give me that back. I was at 20 levels. When you finally think you got it. Now, for the last portion of this video, I'm going to talk about turtles. Turtles are a new thing to Minecraft, and I've learned on the server that lots of people don't really know how they work. When you find turtles in the wild, they won't move their breeding location from that main location. What I've done on top of my island, I found a couple turtles, and when you breed them, you can break their eggs using a silk touch pickaxe. I've done that, and I've decided to move their eggs down here into my base so I could keep them a little bit more well protected, because when the eggs are placed in the world, mobs will go out of their way to go and try and break those eggs. This little room right here is the finished cow area, and I want to know what you guys want to name the sheep. Somehow we got a sheep in here, but not going to question it. What do you guys want to name him? I'm really interested. But back to the turtles. During the egg's life cycle, you can look at the eggs and press F3. This will allow you to see how close they are to hatching. This is shown on the right side of the screen, kind of close to the bottom. And what you're looking for with almost hatched eggs is a value of 2. And that means during one of the nights upcoming, you'll be able to see the eggs hatch. They only hatch at night, so there's that to think about. And they take a long time to get to that portion. So I decided to AFK right here beside the eggs. I'm just watching them for a long time to see exactly how long it took. Now, interesting thing, if you press F3B, you're able to see hitboxes of entities. So there'll be a white box around them, and then 2 red lines and a blue line. The white is their hitbox, the red is their eye levels, so the bottom and the top of their eye level, and then the blue is where they're looking. So you could use this on an Enderman to see where you have to look into his eyes or away from his eyes. It's just pretty interesting. Now, turtles are one of the smallest mobs in Minecraft, if not the smallest. They're like almost the same size as an item, which is pretty interesting. When the turtles grow up, you finally get the little item that allows you to make turtle helmets. But personally, I would just go for a diamond helmet with aqua affinity. From what I've learned, the turtle helmet, the only thing it does is gives you 10 extra seconds of underwater breathing. If you can't do enchantments, like me, because you die often, then this might be helpful for you. But after you get enchanting, it's not useful. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and farm some more of these turtles, and I'll see you in the next episode where we get a lot of people together to go and fight the Ender Dragon. Bye!